Supreme Mobiles and Supreme Super Apple Days. Get instant discount up to 15,000 on iPhone.
குறைந்த விலை நிறைந்த தரம் தங்கள் தேவைகள் அனைத்தும் ஒரே இடத்தில் ஜெயச்சந்திரன்.
Your dream plot awaits for you at OMR, ECR and GST with Nama Family Group.
You were talking about Goat, right? When he narrated the SK scene, the future hero that you have, whose project you won't talk about, that person you're talking about, when he has the cameo on Goat, and he says, Tupaki appadinga, Shiva, did you guys look at it as, because everybody's interpreted it as a passing of the torch, so to speak, moment. Okay. How did you guys, when Venkat Prabhu narrated it to you, did you have Sivakarthikeyan?
The dialogue was not there, but Shiva was there. Yeah,
so
Shiva was there
right from the first thing.
Yes, that because CSK, it was all around CSK, and he's a big CSK fan. So the idea was to have Shiva, Ani, like all the guys that we know loved CSK to be there, because celebrities are also watching the match. So we wanted something that, and that was in the toilet, and he was getting locked there, and it was a way to finish the Mohan sir's character in the film.
Yeah.
So we always knew, and we had tentatively said it, if Shiva agreed to do it, it would be great. So that was something that.
But you know that now it's taken on a completely different dimension, right?
Yeah,
like he's passed on the, like, because there are interpretations that I've seen where specifically he says Tuppaki appadinga, and Tuppaki is a Vijay film.
That too, I think, happened at the time of shoot.
That also happened.
Yeah, that happened at the time of shoot. It was not.
You didn't realize this was all.
No. I don't think it was planned like that. No way.
So when you get a movie like Dragon, because it's not going to be dissected at this micro level, that's also why I'm asking, is it a little bit less pressure, because it'll be seen as a movie. Like yes, Pradeep Ranganathan is a bigger name than he was in Love Today, and Ashwath is a bigger name than he was when he made Oh My Kadavule. So that is combination is going to create some expectation, sure, but it's not like,
Yeah, that's like board exam.
That's funny. So this is like a monthly test.
Not a monthly test, probably like a final exam for 9th grade or 11th grade or something like that. Okay. But I'm always nervous, but I'm just very happy about Dragon. Like there's something about it from the time, and it's a very funny way that this whole movie came about, because I saw Oh My Kadavule, I loved it. Okay, so I think I was one of the first people to even tweet about the film.
Right.
Because I watch everything in the theatre, right? And first day I'll watch it. So I think we both probably watch almost every film that gets made. And I spoke to Ashwath and I said, I really want to work with you. And Ashwath and I started collaborating and how to work. And we had like a narration, and we wanted Simbu to do it. So that whole... This was many years back. This was even before Love Today.
No, but this is not this subject, right?
This is what we're going to do now with him.
Simbu.
Yeah. So that subject, we were super excited about that line. And things were progressing. And that was when Pradeep's film also became a big hit. And
Which one? Komali?
No, Love Today. Love Today became a big hit. And my dad was always telling Pradeep, so we basically met Pradeep after Komali. And we wanted him to do a film for us as a director. And that was when he narrated Love Today, and
and said that he wanted to act.
He wanted to act, and my dad saw the short film and he said, you're a great actor. He actually said that.
Yeah.
And we had a contract with him where one film has him as hero and one with him as direction. And he had a few ideas for a big star and all that. And then my dad said, you know what, big star, okay, but you give me some idea that you have. Because after this movie, you're going to be a star, is what he actually told Pradeep. And me and Pradeep, even we both could not believe that he was saying something like this. We just laughed it off. And that was when Ashwath has developed the screenplay and they've worked together on this. So that was when he narrated this line of Dragon. Said that but that was slightly different from what we have today, like very different from what we have today. And then dates were not working out because Dey Singh's project was happening for him. So we were like, why can't we do it with Ashwath itself, and why can't we do this? And Ashwath said, okay, but I'm going to take an idea from you, but I'm going to develop it and do it in my way. And he has added so much of depth, and that's why I'm so excited about this film, because we've come up, see, it's very rare to give a commercially entertaining film, but also a meaningful one.
Yeah.
That balance is so difficult to strike, because even with Love Today, right, like I don't think you liked it as much as I liked it. Because for you, some of it probably felt a little frivolous or
Yeah, I mean, some connect
It's not
issues
to
were there.
your
Yeah,
taste.
yeah,
It is not to
yeah.
your taste. But I'm very confident this will be to your taste also.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. It's a big pressure on me now. This is like,
No, you will. Like I don't see a single bad review coming for this film.
yeah, no. So the thing is, when you've seen the film,
Yeah.
as a producer again, is it everything that you thought it would be, or like it's?
It was everything it thought, but it's still, and I hardly cry in films, and it made me tear up. In so many things you connect. And as a mother, you will connect to the film. As a father, you will connect to a film. As a person going through life, you'll connect because we've all been through
These beats.
in life. And the way Ashwath has brought out Pradeep, the actor, is very, very good. And he's done that with Mishkin sir again, who's going to be a phenomenal.
That's what, yeah.
And Anupama and Kaidu. Like everyone, see, Ashwath has got the best performances from actually from every actor. And Leon will surprise everybody, the music as well, and the background score that's been done for the film.
Yeah.
That's why the excitement is there. More than commercial numbers and all that, sometimes there'll be this one film that will touch your soul. And to me, it is in the top 3 of AGS that we have made in the 25 films that we've made.
Who should be the other 2?
I don't want to then. That will open up a big... That's why I said top 3.
Very clever. So,
Yeah.
so I've done an interview for this film with Pradeep. I've done an interview with Ashwath. I'm doing an interview with you because this is an interesting project, and you want to get perspectives from different people. Yeah. Do you think bigger stars should open themselves up to promotions? Would that help take the movies more to the audiences? Because there are a number of people that don't do interviews. Basically, they just say we won't do interviews or we won't come for promotions, right? And it's up to either the director or maybe like the supporting actors or whatever it is, right? I'm not talking about maybe like Ajit or because they pretty much with Rajnikant. Or, though, I mean, that's a different stratosphere altogether. Yeah. But you find a number of other people also kind of now.
See, I really feel we have to stand by the films we make, and we have to talk about it. A lot of people, I think, facing the camera or talking to the media is not easy also because you're not used to questions. A lot of actors, I feel, are a little worried that they might see because now anything that you say can become a meme. It can also impact the film in a negative manner.
Okay.
So there has to be a proper process where they attend some training sessions, they figure out what are their strengths and weaknesses, and maybe even sit with a couple of anchors who they're comfortable with, where they can, have it has to happen. But I feel a lot of people don't do it because they don't want to say something that will harm the film, or because that can also happen. You can say something that can just completely
be misinterpreted.
Right? So there is a very large number of actors who don't want to do it for that reason, because it can backfire, and there are some who just don't like to do it. But it really helps the film. As a producer, I still call and I ask all my actors, I request them, like, please do. Some of them do, some of them refuse. What can you do? We put it in the contract also. Contractually, they're all obligated to come for 1 week. Can we exercise it? Yes. Do we choose not to? Yes. Because we are there in this for a long term, and if they don't want to, then they don't want to.
Do contracts really mean anything in the sense that if
of course they mean.
No, but supposing you have a contract with the star who says come for an interview, the star says I'm not going to. Can you do anything?
Of course, you can do many things, but we choose not to.
But won't the legal thing take a long time?
It's not a legal thing, right? But you can go to the association. Like, it's contractually obligated.
Okay.
An unnecessary red on the actor. It just becomes a very messy affair. But if the lead stars in the film don't promote, especially the smaller films, who will talk about the film then?
Yeah. Who's going to take it across to?
But I feel this generation, you've met Ashwath, you've met Pradeep, you look at all the actors in Neek, they're all going and talking about the films. I don't think they are in that, they're not too bothered about the memes and trolls. They troll themselves. So they don't care. Yeah. So I think that is changing now. What we're talking about is probably the last decade.
The last generation of Do you think that we are now seeing the last of the stars, that generation of stars that can literally open a movie just on their name alone, regardless of the quality of the film, and not depend on word of mouth? Or do you think it's just like we are going to keep getting stars that slowly rise and become big enough to do that.
We will always keep getting stars.
We'll keep getting stars.
Yeah. And they'll be born only in the theaters.
But that's why I asked,
Yeah,
because like whether you look at, right down to I think the last theater-made star, big star, I think is Sivakarthikeyan, if I'm not mistaken, pandemic. Like I think, like today he's at a place where his name, like we're talking about, I think Simpu Dhanush are a little senior to him,
but
right?
we're still talking about a one-day phenomenon. You can't. You have to make a good movie.
No, but I'm saying,
finally,
but
you have
that
to
one
make
day
a good
at least
movie.
on the pre-business or whatever it is, that's still kind of
even the
happens.
pre-business is changing now.
But
even
you
the
just said that
pre-business
the
is
big
changing
stars-
now. It's a combination now. You just can't be a star. It has to be star plus director plus
Right.
production. It is a combination. That's what I was trying to tell you. It's not a. It is slowly changing because I think they've also started to realize that the combinations matter. So now they are thinking like how producers think for theaters.
But it's a cyclical thing, right? Because I'm thinking of a number of first-time directors. They go to producers. The producer says, "Where's the star?" The stars don't want to work with first-time directors a lot of the time. They say, "Okay, make a film and then come to me." But these guys are not able to make a film because the producers are saying, "Bring a star." I'm not talking about you, but I'm generally saying.
See, also I have met a lot of first-time directors, but I always tell them at least work as an AD for 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Right? Otherwise, for a producer it's a lot of money. Like if you're going to get a regular job at your age, you probably get a max CTC of a lakh and a half a month. You're basically asking someone to invest.
I've never heard the word CTC in an interview ever. You're truly corporate. This is like the first time I'm hearing this.
No, you're basically asking someone
no, it's very right.
to
But it's just
invest
like, wow,
10 years of what you're going to make in one film.
Yeah.
Right? So that means you need to have some body of work to show. So either you need to have a short film, or you should have made a film, or you should have worked under someone who can call and tell me, Archana, this guy has worked on 3 big films with me and he has done all this. So he knows how to, make this together. Only then that will inspire confidence. Right now, I feel the process is so blind. People just email scripts. It comes from all over the place. It's very difficult for us also to find the right talent and, back them. We are trying our best. But and I do think a lot of production houses also are trying, but it's a problem now because we don't have, it's a zero or 100 kind of a situation, and not many people can take that kind of risk anymore.
Right. So you're seeing producers bringing down the number of productions, opting for productions that they think are relatively safer than going for many.
The new producers will keep doing the
other ones.
The other ones, yeah.
Right.
See, producers will never stop. You keep seeing, every decade you will have 7 or 8 large production houses. You will have many small movies that keep coming because cinema and entertainment is one thing that will never die. It will never go out of style.
Where do these producers come from? They come from other industries or whatever?
They come from other industries. They would have made it very well in another industry. And
they want to make a movie.
They want to make a movie. See, making a movie is also very aspirational for most of us. That's how we came in. We came in from IT to cinemas because my dad has always wanted to make a film. So he said, why can't we make... And at that point of time, everything was mass masala entertainer. So he made a Thiruttu Paile, which was not done before. So it's a long process. So when you're coming and pitching for a film, you have to be prepared and done the homework.
2 things I'm asking you about. One is, do you think the cap on ticket prices is something that should be removed? Because there have been a lot of people who've talked about it, both in Tamil cinema and in Telugu cinema. But I think there's a problem in both. And the second thing is, you've said that in weekends at least the theatre occupancy is about 75%, 80%, but on weekdays it's pretty bad. It's like only 25% or something like that. So if you had more number of shows, then we could at least draw in more people and make the weekdays a little better. So can you talk about these 2 things?
So I don't believe in big ticket prices. I think the cap is fine.
Okay.
Because then it becomes affordable and a family can come to the movies at least twice a month rather than coming like once in 6 months or once in 7 months, right?
Yeah.
So I think affordable cinema is healthy for cinema. So we make more movies and that happens. And with respect to what was...
occupancy and the
Occupancy, see, that is
the
the thing,
more
right?
number of shows.
More number of shows, because everything happens only on the weekend, and even on the weekday, only the evening, matinee, evening and night, noon show is very, very dull. So I just feel that, but I do understand from the government perspective, it's not safe to have the early morning, 4 a.m. shows and all, because it becomes a little unsafe, and I completely agree with that aspect as well. But somewhere give a little bit of flexibility in terms of, because right now we have restriction that we can only do 5 shows.
Yeah. I
So
think
even
four,
if
right?
no, 5 shows on a weekend.
On a weekend,
on a
yeah,
weekend,
yeah,
Saturday
yeah.
and Sunday, and we can get a special geo for 1 extra show on a Friday if it's a big film or something like that.
Will Dragon get that or?
It's not. I don't think it needs a 5 show.
Okay.
On
So the first
day
show will
one.
be at 12-ish.
First show will be at noon, so we can start traditionally like that. But my thing is, say there are 4 films coming out, right? If you're a multiplex and you have like 3 screens or 2 screens, if there are 4 films coming out, by letting, and it's only 2 hours, nowadays films are only for 2 hours or 2 hour 10 minutes. If you remove that number of shows as 5, then you can slot in more films, like you can slot in, so you'll get more programming space. So this showcasing will not be a problem. So more small films will get shows.
Okay.
Which I find they can do in the north, because then they can, so they'll have a 2 hour film, they'll have a 1.5 hour film, so they can, even in the same screen, they'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning and finish by 1:32 at night, but they can show far more number of films than what we can. We can only still show 5 shows
I
per
think
screen.
even in the north they're facing the same problem, because there was a lot of like murmurs about how Pushpa 2 came and then pretty much took over all the theaters and all the screens, because people just were like, for the longest time they hadn't had a thing. So I think the same problem exists everywhere, how to showcase a small film, which has now almost become like, if it's a very, very small niche film without stars or something like that, then I think about 80% of people just say, I'm going to watch it on a in OTT or something like that.
But even OTTs hardly pick up these films. So where are they going to watch it? It's a real problem.
It's a real problem.
It's a real problem.
Yeah, because I mean, earlier we used to get a lot of these freak small movie hits that you kind of a thing. But here, even you're talking about Labbar Panda, it's a sub 10 crore film.
Yeah.
So that's like not really a small film as such. It's like a, what would you call that, a mid-budget film?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's something that you're kind of thinking. So what do you think about the trend of bringing in stars from other industries, like in Jailer or Coolie or something like that? Do you think the cost or the investment is worth the potential return?
Totally depends on the story.
On the film?
On the story and what
Because
it
I haven't
needs.
seen you guys do that much.
Because so far we've not had a film that needed casting from different
But the
states.
logic, is it that if you cast one person from this industry, the people from there are more likely to turn up, or?
I don't believe in that.
Okay.
I don't believe in that, and I don't think the non-theatrical business also it doesn't help with that also.
It doesn't help with that?
It doesn't help.
So OTTs are not going to say, you have this many stars, so I'm going to pick it up for more money, that kind of a thing?
I don't think so.
It's still about the central
It's
star.
about the central star, yeah.
Okay.
That's the most important aspect of the film.
So Jailer is, like, obviously it's a Rajinikanth film.
It's a
And that's
Rajini
how it
film,
should be
yeah,
seen,
yeah.
regardless of...
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just feel that is one film where they did it very well.
No, I'm bringing that example because that's like a very prominent example, but I'm not talking about that. But you have...
But sometimes I just feel that it doesn't work at all. Like you're making a Tamil film and then suddenly you have... unless the character is from that land and it's in the film,
and that's what it was in Jail.
That's what it was in Jailer. So it worked for me personally. Otherwise,
but
it doesn't
no, but
work.
I'm saying, does it work in the sense that when you dub it and put it out there, like, it does having a Nagarjuna help in a Telugu market? Is what I'm trying to ask.
I've not done it, so I won't know.
Okay.
But
what's your sense of it? It's like, does it...
It really depends on the story, right? Like if it works, then it works. That's probably an added advantage. They'll get more theatre engagement.
Okay.
When that happens.
When that happens, okay.
But I don't know. I don't see how it actually works.
Or like, okay.
I don't understand that.
Okay. Now, the big news now is that the Malayalam film industry is heading for a strike because they're saying that the remuneration of heroes is really, really high, and it's become a real problem because a lot of the figures that are quoted for films as earnings are actually not the actual earnings, but the stars force the producers to quote those figures as as things, and they're actually saying we are going to start a YouTube site that lists the actual earnings of films, so that these stars are exposed or something. It's getting into a zone now. But what I'm trying to ask is, I was very surprised, because I thought if any place that such a thing would happen, it would happen in Tamil or Telugu. But in Malayalam film industry, when they're talking about high remuneration of stars, I was
didn't know
like
this.
a little. It's been on for about 2 days.
Okay, I would assume that there they were more reasonable.
It's reasonable. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so this seems to be a problem everywhere.
See, honestly, I don't think you can inflate it to that extent. It is not possible. You have GST, you have TDS, there are so many technical things. But that's also, see, இப்போ வந்து collection போட்டாலும் திட்டுவாங்க, fake ன்னு தான் சொல்லுவாங்க. Collection போடலைனாலும் they'll be like, you're not putting because you want to fake it. So there is no limit to this. Like we publish the numbers and we're okay with it. But some of them are like, oh no, this is fake, you're going to again. Why would we do it?
But there are many trackers or other things that they follow these numbers. They publish numbers and all that. Are those trustable numbers?
The Book My Show trending numbers, I think so far you can trust them, because
that shows the number of tickets
booked.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I usually look at that, because for me that makes a lot of sense with what I'm seeing at the box office. In
It
terms of
corresponds.
patterns, it corresponds more or less. But that too, because I have multiplexes in city areas, so I don't know how much that will relate to, say, a small theatre in Salem or Coimbatore or Trichy.
Okay.
So I don't know how much that trend will perform there, but I can see a direct correlation between the trend there to the tickets booked here. But even that changes. Like for example, for Chava, right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal bookings, but I will not see that here. That rate is showing for Pan India and probably showing for Bombay, Delhi circuit. Whereas here, the Tamil films majority will happen here in the south. Yeah.
Right. So since you brought in the smaller centers, a film like Dragon, when you listen to narrations, do you sometimes say, we can make this movie, it'll recover its money in just the cities and maybe an NRI market alone? Or do you always look for the maximum spread for a movie in terms of audience?
See, we don't think so much while listening to the script. It has to be nice first, and it has to be engaging.
No, when you're budgeting,
When I'm budgeting, we definitely try and cater to... In fact, today I was talking to my colleagues and I was saying that in the A center, B center, C center, they say all this, no? I think you should cater to B.
Okay.
Okay, the
Give me
regular...
give me some
in my
examples
mind,
of B
I
centers.
don't know. I feel you are A. This is my head.
Thank you.
This is my center. It is all in my head.
Okay.
I feel that you are probably like the A center audience. I am the B center audience, which is like normal. I'm not like super intellectual that I understand I don't understand too much
It's
depth.
getting worse by the minute. Okay, thank you.
No, it's a compliment. Like
Yeah,
I don't
no.
get the complexities too much.
No, fine.
I go for like a regular generic cinema, and C center is, I don't know what that is, but I have never enjoyed a film that has catered fully to that market, where there is a lot of just like action song and star driven that works very well across borders. So I feel you should target the family going audience, because when the wives and kids come in, the true movie makes...
That's
the thing that
Are there
makes
movies
numbers.
that have become big hits only by the youth going in, without families coming in?
They will not make the kind of numbers that Love Today
But
did.
have there been movies?
No, nothing has crossed 100 crores.
Nothing has crossed.
Nothing has crossed, not to my knowledge.
So I was
That's very niche.
right.
Cannot cross 100.
Right. So I was having this came when I was talking to Pradeep. So we were talking about how family audiences had changed, because he said that a movie like Animal, despite whatever is in it, it cannot become this big a hit if family audiences don't come into that audience. So what the family audiences watch today has also changed.
Yes.
So it's not like, family audiences are coming, we can't show kids. That thing is
No.
all completely gone.
No.
Right.
No.
So where do you draw the line?
With where the censor certificate is, you should, like, if you're going to get where I draw the line for AGS is, if I'm going to get a certification for a non-action reason. Okay, like Yudham Sai was A. But that was because we wanted to make a film about trafficking and the genre
And a
of the
very
film.
dark
It is a
and- yeah.
dark film,
Yeah.
and we from day one, Mishkin sir said it's an A film, like in terms of what we're going to do. So unless it is something like that, if some scene where a censor board or somebody thinks this is adult, I will not keep that in my movie.
Okay. So Dragon is what? It's been
It's
censored?
UA.
It's UA.
It's
okay.
UA, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that means it's family watchable.
It's family watchable. Yeah.
So even if there
yeah.
is violence, it's going to be violence that can be. It'll
yeah.
Be, yeah.
Everything will be completely. You're not going to close your eyes or, you know.
Right.
It's not that.
Okay.
this-
So
yeah.
so if in theory, if Sandeep Reddy Vanga comes to you and pitches a story like Animal, and not even just in theory, like would that be of interest to AGS as a?
I'm not saying we won't do films that are A, but the budgeting will
to,
depend
okay.
on that, because when you say A, then you are leaving a certain amount of money off the table.
Okay.
But yeah,
But are movies like Animal proving it otherwise? Because
it didn't. It did really well across India, but Inga Tamil it did reasonably well now.
yeah, because it mainly did very well in Telugu and Hindi.
Hindi, yeah,
But
yeah.
it didn't do anything. So you're talking about all over.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like
okay.
it won't do a Bahubali kind of number.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
okay.
what I'm trying
That's
to
what
say.
you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Had
right.
it been a UA,
Yeah.
that's a different.
When you decided to do La Vyapa, which is still, like you said, the verdict is
Yeah.
out on
Yeah.
it. What prompted you to say this is a movie that is going to work well in that market? Apart from the fact that you said not many people might have seen it.
That was the main thing,
That
and we
was the
felt
main-
this story is very relatable. So if it works here, it should work there.
Right.
And so
What has
why
your
not?
experience been dealing with that market, the Hindi market?
I've learned a lot because I've first of all, I think I appreciate the Tamil audience more,
Okay.
because I think we really encourage newcomers. You know, we encourage newcomers, and we encourage we have a habit of going to theaters.
Theaters.
We have a habit of going to theaters. So here, if you want to do a small film or a medium film, your print and publicity cost is not going to kill you. Right? You can still make a good trailer. A good trailer is good enough to bring a decent opening, and then word of mouth, and things can go. But since there are so many states, you have to cater to so many cultures, and it's not like how. It's as different as how it is. No, Tamil is different, Telugu is different.
Yeah.
There again, Delhi is different, Bombay is different. Every state is different. So the way they market it, the amount of effort that goes into it is phenomenal. The way they promote also, they do so many interviews, they talk about it, they do screenings. It's quite. It was very interesting to watch, because then I asked them, why can't we just cut a trailer? And they said, no, here, you have to spend this much to actually go and promote the film. So it gave me an idea on what the Hindi market is, what are the things that work there, and how they make their movies also, because we didn't actually do the on-the-ground production, and we didn't have the creative choice also. So it was left to Phantom. So they were the ones who sort of implemented. So we just sort of gave the remake rights of the film and maybe a little bit of funding. Otherwise, everything else was done by them. So
Right.
it was very interesting to see. They had a first AD, the way they planned the film, it was very meticulous. So they had only 41 days of shoot, 41 days, and they had it was almost like very, very planned. Here we are still, we plan everything, but Anga Poeta will be like, okay, you know what, we will have to add the scene. We'll be like, add it, it needs it. Anga, it's not like that. You can't add it just like that. You have to actually come back and to the drawing board.
Right, but in the negative sense, you're saying that there is less freedom when it comes to casting and things like that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
Because you have to go with known people there. If you go with completely unknown, I don't know how much of print and publicity you need to do to actually get people to come. But everything changes, right? Every time you'll have something new that comes and breaks that.
So are you looking to
norm.
make a full-on
Yeah,
Hindi?
I'm really excited now, and that's something that we are working on also. I want to try and see if we listen to a script, we mount a project, how it's going to do.
Right. Now, for example, we spoke about this thing, like this pan-Indian thing, or we've been talking about Bahubali and all that. Is either the Simbu film or the SK film a likely candidate for that kind of promotion, publicity, all that?
One of them is, yeah.
One of them is?
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, you're
Actually,
saying...
I see, we will know, no, in 2 years, we don't know what the scene is going to be like.
Oh yeah, because these things keep changing.
They keep changing. The trends also keep changing. But right now, whatever we do keep Hindi as a market in our mind. We don't just leave it like that. Even for Dragon, I have a Hindi dubbing that has already started.
So you're going to release it out there?
No, I'm going to keep it ready. So if it does really well, then I will
Like Marco did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they first did not have it and then they did
that's what we're also planning to do.
Why are there very few female directors in Tamil cinema? Writers, directors, whatever. It's a. I mean, it's not pointed at you, but I'm just generally asking. Is it?
I don't know. I don't know. Sudha's there.
Yeah.
And she's making a fabulous
Like I'm just saying few.
film.
Like Sudha's
Pushkar
probably the
Gayatri.
only. Yeah, Pushkar. Yeah.
Gayatri's there. I don't know, but you know what? I think that's also going to change because now a lot of my directors have a lot of female ladies also.
Right.
So hopefully
They
more
start coming
stories.
up.
Yeah,
Because the female director who's made the most buzz or noise recently is Varsha Ganesh, who's done Bad Girl for the Vetriman and Anurag Kashyap have produced it.
Yeah.
But that seems to be more like a festival kind of film. I mean, I don't know what it is. But
I
I'm
just saw
saying,
the promo. Yeah.
So, but when talking about mainstream, like that kind of a thing, I just had this question. Long back, I think that was our first interview when I asked you about, like your favorite books. You mentioned Kite Runner. You mentioned Palace of Illusions.
Yeah.
Chitra Banerjee Divakar.
Yeah.
You said that was one of your favorite books.
Yes.
You'd love to make you can already see somebody like Deepika Nayanthara in the lead.
Yeah.
But that was many years ago. You really haven't gone back to books or is that why don't producers option books or take books that they like and say, why don't you make a movie out of this to a director?
You know what? It's really difficult because I feel that in Tamil at least, most of the directors are writer-directors.
Right.
And they like to write their own stories. So they always come with a story.
So you can't tell anybody.
I've never, and because we are inundated with projects, I've never had the time to actually go and I still read. I'm a voracious reader. I read at least maybe 50 books a year.
Wow.
So a book a week typically. And I love these stories. So I just keep piling them up. I'm like, you can, biographies and there are so many things that one can do, but everyone already comes with a story. And that requires a serious amount of time where you take a book, then get the rights. It's a great idea also, but I think Chetan Bhagat's book got made, right? 2 of his books got made into films. Yeah, hopefully we'll soon start seeing it. At least with series, I'm trying now.
You're trying now?
I'm trying now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're getting into series now?
Yeah.
Like you can tell us anything about it?
No, just started. So based on a book, we're trying to see if we can make it. Yeah.
And another book that you mentioned back then was Immortals of Meluha. Now maybe it's not that. I don't know whether it's still buzzy or hot or whatever
but
it is.
But still not been made, no?
Yeah, it's still not been made.
Yeah.
And you said that's a great idea for a pan-India film.
Yeah.
So does Aegis
because Hanuman also worked really well.
Yeah.
Hanuman also worked really
well. So does Aegis have plans for a pan-India film? Like a pure, like not one that's developed here and then taken there, but something that is designed as something that will work everywhere.
I'm working on one.
You're working?
We're working on one, yeah.
Again.
That's the one that I don't want to talk about.
You don't want to talk about anything. This is kind of. But thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it's just that I'll tell you why. Because till it's announced, you never know if it's going to get made.
Yeah.
So right now, on paper, we have that commitment with STR and we have one commitment with Shiva. So that's the only 2 that I can talk about.
No, those 2 and you said the smaller.
The third one and the smaller film, right? But the one that I'm not talking about is not these 3. It's a completely.
And it's a film, not a series you're talking about.
No, it's a film. It's a film that we're trying to do.
But this itself is quite. I mean, it's going to take you quite a while to get through.
Yeah.
It's like what, like couple of years?
2 years, yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. By then that should be ready and we can probably.
By the end of like every year, you plan for next 2 years.
Yeah.
Not beyond that.
Not beyond that.
Okay.
Because everything changes.
Right.
In 2 years.
Right. So all the best for Dragon.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Supreme Mobiles and Supreme Super Apple Days. Get instant discount up to 15,000 on iPhone.
குறைந்த விலை நிறைந்த தரம் தங்கள் தேவைகள் அனைத்தும் ஒரே இடத்தில் ஜெயச்சந்திரன்.
Your dream plot awaits for you at OMR, ECR and GST with Nama Family Group.